In the heart of the city, where dreams come alive, B-Up's on the mic with that fire in his eyes. From the court to the field, every game, every fight, he's the voice of the struggle under stadium lights. He's seen the highs and the lows, the wins and the pain, every triumph and tear, every loss in the rain. Through it all, he stands tall, never backs down, with a heart full of love for this sports-loving town. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game to the struggles we face, he's the voice of the people in the sacred space. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. There's a love in the air for the game and the grind, for the players who hustle, leaving it all behind. Through the sweat and the tears, the blood and the fight, B-Wop tells the stories under the bright lights. In the silence of the night, when the crowd fades away, he's the echo of hope.
What's going on? What's going on, family? How y'all doing on this Tuesday night? You watching Sports Talk with B. Watts, and I'm your host, Bernard Watts. Do me a favor, hit the like button as you come in. You know the drill. Hit that like button. We need 200 likes tonight. 250. How about that? Let's raise this ball up tonight. It's got a good show tonight, along with JR Boxing. Got Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve's gonna be running a little bit behind, but hey, he said he'll jump on as soon as he get in, and we gonna rock for y'all tonight. Got a good show. I'm telling you, we getting ready to talk about who y'all want to talk about, and that's Shedeur things. Uh, the veterans has reported to training camp, and tomorrow they start their first practice together. We're gonna talk about that all, and we're gonna also hit on a few NFL teams that's in the NFC and AFC, and we're gonna switch over and talk about, you already know, Coach Prime and the Colorado football team. We're gonna end the show with that. And if we get a little time, we're gonna do a little tribute at the end for Malcolm Jamal Warner, who was a co-host of the Cosby Show. You know, he lost his life over the weekend and drowning, and I got a little video on the show at the end of the show, and we'll leave it at that. All right. Well, that's enough talk. I want to say hello to everybody in the chat before I bring JR up. Let's see who's in here and rocking with us tonight. All right, who we got? All right, I'm looking at Miss Debbie Garcia, faithful one, as always. I love Cece, another faithful one. We appreciate it. Everybody's faithful. That's Miss Carolyn Shepard. Who is this? Linnell Stiller. First time saying that name. How you doing? Mr. Cameron Nash Williams. Kenneth Wilson. FD. What's up, FD? It's Patricia McGee. Tim Isaac. Val Green, what's going on? How you feeling? Prentice Premier, what's going on? How you feeling, sir? Thank you for watching Sports Talk with B. Watts tonight. Miss Harris, as always. Jam, what's going on? How you feeling? Roger Johnson is in the bill. Miss Amber, how you feeling? Appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you. Jabbar, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you for supporting Sports Talk with B. Watt. Once again, y'all don't mind, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, if you don't mind. Well, I'm going to get ready to bring the man of the hour up. And he is the one and only. Y'all already know who he is. That's J.R. Fox. Let's see, can we get him on? Oh, got to
Hey
get him
yo,
on. Oh, what's going on? What's up, JR?
what's happening, B Watts? What's happening?
Shoot, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just glad to be alive. That's
Same here,
just
man.
me. I'm just glad to
Same
be in the
here.
number at the old folks and the pastor of the church. Say, I'm just glad to be in the number.
Yeah, same here, man. Me too.
Got no
I'm
complaint.
happy to
I ain't got.
wake up every morning.
I know that's right, bro. I know that's right. To deal with this world around. It is what it is. These days
Most
gonna be running a
definitely.
little late. He had to practice. His son had to practice today.
Oh, I know
So
how they go. Oh, I know.
yeah, I don't had them days. I'm glad them days over with. But still, hey, we had to do a little shopping, back to school shopping for my youngest today. I think we got to do one more trip, try to get her out to college, and that'll be it, man. That's all I
Yeah,
got going on, bro. That's family stuff, bro.
yeah, same here, man. I just did some yard work, and
Yep,
that's about it, man. Got a lot of
yeah,
family coming in tomorrow, so sprucing up a few areas, but I was like, let me mow this yard, man. Get that
okay,
yard mowed. But
right. Yeah, I gotta go
that's
sit
about
up in
it.
the classroom tomorrow for my friend. Sit up in the classroom, put the final touch on that, and that'll
Hmm.
that. And it is what it is, man. It
Yeah.
is what it is. Paul, it look like when I retired, I got more work to do.
That's
when
how I
they
feel, man.
first thing
I,
they tell you, JR, you ain't doing that.
I told my wife, I said, I'm about to go get another job. She was like, "You
Hey,
been
that's why.
retired?"
Hey,
I said, "I'm
that's
about to go
exactly
get
what
another
I said.
job,
I
man."
said if I gotta do this, I might well go get me a job. At least they
Yep.
pay. At least they
Yep.
will pay.
Oh man.
What's going on, FB, OFB, Miss E. Willer? What's going on, Rev Nelson, Linda Brooks? Y'all in the building. All right, JR, let's get started, man. Let's get in this thing. We don't almost went over 5 minutes.
Hmm.
So I got a question, JR. You know
Yeah.
you hear different stuff. What's going on? Coach G is in the building. Gotta get a shout out to Coach G. All right, JR. The talk, you hear the talk, we hear the talk, we hear the narrative about Shedeur and the rest of the quarterback room. I get that. I get that. Everybody picking their sides, and I understand that. I understand that. But what do you really expect where Shedeur will stand starting tomorrow, far as the depth chart?
Oh, man. Unfortunately, B Watts, just the way the cookie crumbles, right? Like
Right.
what they say in Hollywood. Um, he started off what OTAs at fourth.
Mhm.
He most likely gonna come in training camp at fourth.
Okay,
So
time.
it
Time.
yeah.
All right. Let me ask this question, which I agree with you. I agree with you. That's what the NFL on. If he come in tomorrow, fourth on the depth chart, what was the purpose? Which I already know. I just want to hear your side. What was the purpose of rookie minicamp? I'm not even gonna worry about rookie min. What was the purpose of OTAs and mandatory minicamp when we know, according to the film that they
Hmm.
put out there and the stats, he dominated everybody. I mean, everybody. He dominated Joe Flacco. He dominated Kenny Pickett. He dominated Dylan Gabriel, and they had the most reps. So, what was the purpose of mandatory minicamp if he still got to go in as number 4 on the depth chart?
The purpose is evaluation. I mean,
Okay, okay,
physicals,
time
all
out.
that
Boy,
stuff.
you're doing
Yeah.
exactly what I want you to do. Appreciate you.
Oh,
Okay, I mean, you right on. That's the answer I'm looking for. Okay, since you evaluate, what the hell? I mean, excuse me. I'm not saying you. What would they evaluate then when he went out there and threw for almost 80% pass completion rate? If that's what you're saying, because that's what people always telling me, and I'll keep
yeah.
hearing, evaluate. What were you looking at then? Why he still got to be number 4? You don't think he looked better than Dylan Gabriel? You don't think he looked better than Kenny Pickett? You don't think he looked better than Joe Flacco? I
Yeah,
got
look,
questions.
look. I mean, look. If you ask me, does he look? Did he look better? I mean, that's 100% for sure. Uh, but that's me. Who am I? But look, the evaluation process, it is what it is. Well, I mean, we talking about an organization that's bottoms in the NFL. I believe the only thing that they got right was paying Miles Garrett. That's it. I mean, that's probably the only draft pick that they got right outside of Nick Chubb, but injuries just happened with him. But to me, Miles Garrett is the only draft pick that they got right. You can kind of include David and Njoku in there, but yeah, and when you start putting them together with other tight ends, he really not panning out like that. So the evaluation process, it kind of fits the narrative of, all right, well, we took Dylan Gabriel because the coaching staff wanted Dylan Gabriel, right? I mean, it's on record that Kevin Stefanski wanted Dylan Gabriel. So if he wanted Dylan Gabriel and somebody else in the organization, whether it be Andrew Berry, whether it be Jimmy Haslam, wanted Shedeur, then Kevin Stefanski gotta, he gotta see it all the way through. I mean, you can't say, well, this is the guy that I wanted, but then you go into training camp and you ain't going with your guy. Whether
Mhm.
stats, whether who look what's perceived, all of those things, you got to go with what you picked, and that's just the way the NFL goes. I mean, most head coaches are tied to the players that they pick, more specifically the quarterback. So, with it being on record, Kevin Stefanski saying, "Well, this is a guy that we wanted in Dylan Gabriel." That's not on record with him saying that about Shador, which is crazy to me. I still want to know who you had number one on your draft board. So if you had Shador, Cam Ward number one on your draft board, but you settled with Dylan Gabriel, then you have to go with what you know what I'm saying? You have to go with what you settle with. But the thing about the NFL, it's a performance based league. So all Shador has to do is go in and perform. And so when he gets those opportunities, training camp and then preseason, you perform. And everything else take care of itself.
Okay. All right. Now let's go. Let's go to the next topic. And I get that. I understand everything you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with you. All right. So, what is the best for Shador going? Let me see how I want to phrase this. If you had to give Shador advice, what's the best advice you would give him entering competition during training camp?
Get after it, man. Um, Take risks, but take calculated risks, right? Because playing conservative, in my opinion, playing conservative, it'll just keep you where you at. So
Yeah.
at this point, I mean, if I'm fourth on the depth chart, you look at NFL teams. I mean, they rarely take four quarterbacks into a regular season. So if I'm fourth on the depth chart, then I need to take calculated risks to better improve my opportunity to see the field as soon as possible. That's being smart with the ball, making the right reads, um, taking care of the football, all the accuracy and all of that stuff. Those are intangibles that he already has. But taking that calculated risk, that's something that I would tell sure. Because if you play conservative, to some point, to like, well, let me just not mess up, or let me just, not look bad, then you're overthinking and you're not playing how you're accustomed to playing. So be calculated, don't go out there and just be a gunslinger or anything like that, but be calculated and take advantage of every opportunity that's put in front of you. Because he's gonna see some opportunities to have some first team reps. So when you get those chances and you throwing against Denzel Ward and you doing, hey man, you got to put it out there. Put it out there, put good tape out there, put good film out there, because this audition is for the Browns, but it's also for 32 other NFL teams. So with that being said.
Okay. Now, you got people out there on Twitter. You got people out there, giving their own opinion, who's not even familiar with the situation. They saying that maybe Shedeur should be traded, go to a better team that appreciates him. I hear that talk. You see that Tennessee lost their quarterback, and they have Cam Ward. They don't have no really proven veteran behind him that can lead him in the right way. Looking at Indianapolis situation, and you're looking at the New Orleans situation. When you look
Mhm.
at the quarterback room for Cleveland, which quarterback you think they should remove from their quarterback room to each to either one of those teams? Like a Joe Flacco with the experience, maybe Kenny Pickett, or even Dylan Gabriel. Which one, if you was the GM, what would you be looking at?
Yeah, if it's me, it's gonna be Kenny Pickett of all the quarterbacks. Just for the simple fact, you rarely see now, like I don't think I've ever seen now that a franchise would trade a rookie that they just drafted. I don't think I've ever seen that. And if somebody's seen that in the chat, please put that in there. But I don't think I've ever seen that. So when you look, Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel, they already kind of off the table. So it's between Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. So when I'm looking to trade with another team, if I'm the GM, what are teams looking for? Most teams are looking for youth and experience. Well, Kenny Pickett kind of checks that box. Youthful, has 4 years in the league as far as NFL experience. Now, all of the stats and stuff like that, he may not be a top tier number one quarterback or number two, or for even that number three. But those are the things that you have, to your benefit as a Browns organization. He's youthful, he has NFL experience, and then you can always put in a feather in the cap. He was a previous number one draft pick. So if you put him in certain situations, he could be a Sam Darnold again, a Baker Mayfield, and kind of rehabilitate his career. So it would have to be Kenny Pickett.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. We're moving on. We're moving on. Now, let's go back to Shaduk. All right. Is there any kind of scenario that you think that could play out before the first game of the season that you see Shaduk as QB1 or QB2 when you look at the Cleveland Browns staff through their eyes?
Abs- yeah, absolutely. It would have to come through preseason, right? So whatever is being done in training camp, that's going to be training camp. They're going to, however they evaluate in training camp, they evaluate in training camp. So it's going to have to be done in preseason. So he's going to have to go out there in preseason.
Okay, hold on. All right. So no matter what he does in training camp, no way he can jump them right now. He got to show them when the shoulder pad come on against competition.
Yeah. I mean, because look, the way you looking at training camp, there's guys battling for positions, trying to make things happen. But for the organization, they're trying to get a rhythm with whatever quarterback they're gonna have. So whether it's Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett, one of them guys probably gonna get the bulk of first team reps so they can see what they have. Because they have to narrow down pretty fast who's gonna be their starting quarterback.
Right,
So if it's gonna be Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, or Shador, they got to narrow that down really fast.
right. So,
And
okay,
mhm.
tell me this then. Tell me this. How soon you think Kevin Stefanski need to let the rest of the team know when he want to do that to get them all on the same page? When's the perfect time?
For the Browns, I don't think it matters. I think it goes all the way up until, the end of the preseason,
Okay.
getting ready for the regular season, because their organization is not a championship organization, right? If they was contending for something, then I'll be like, hey, they need to, pretty soon we need to get, but they're not contending for anything. So you
I
can
mean, come on,
string
come
this
on.
out.
I don't think that's a fair. I don't think that's fair to be dog. I mean, you got your team, Texas. What y'all training for? Y'all ain't done that. Matter of fact, y'all hired Bill Belichick people to run y'all organization. Then you turn around and fired the black man who was winning, was the head coach. If you go back now, check the rest of that jail. So
I
you
know, I
can't.
know.
Okay, so what are y'all? You just can't come. I just got stopped you when you come over here and say stuff like, "I represent Cleveland." Now you just can't come over here and just say anything about Cleveland, and your team ain't doing this. I mean, haven't done nothing really in Texas. But I get your point, though. I get your point. But Jr.,
Yeah,
they got to name a starting quarterback before the first game, don't you? Stop.
yeah, but I don't think it's gonna come. I don't think that starting
At
quarterback
least
gonna
the
be a.
depth chart need to be set, or they just won't
Yeah,
tell us.
I don't think, honestly, I don't think Cleveland gonna name a quarterback until up, maybe a week up into the regular season, whenever they play
Okay.
their first game in the regular season. Because it's what what do they have banking on to say, well, we gotta get this guy because we in contention. Like I know that's
What
your
they ain't?
newfound team, but
Okay.
they not in contention for
They
anything.
are there.
So
They
they
are.
gotta get it right.
They got a better team than most people trying to get them credit because it's not you all team. They have a decent team. Tell me what they have that Texans don't have or do have.
Uh so we
Let's
got
do it.
I'll tell you one thing, we got a quarterback.
We got one
we
if you do
got
it.
we
I'll
got
take
that
Shedeur over
now.
your quarterback.
Okay, well, you take
All right,
Shedeur over
come
CJ
on,
Stroud.
then, JR. Come on, you
We
got to
got
have more than that, JR.
we got a number one receiver in Nico Collins.
We got a better receiver than Jerry Judy than them.
Okay. Let's see. We got a productive running back in Joe Mixon. And we done picked up Nick Chubb. I don't know who y'all running back is.
We got three.
Who? If you got
We,
three, you
we
got
got the
one, right?
same
That's what
guy
they
that we
always
had
say.
last year. We got the same guy we had last year, and we drafted a guy from Tennessee. And what's called, he's gonna go through his suspension, but when he get back, he's gonna be all
Yeah.
right. So we got a three-head monster. Keep going. You losing so far, big dog.
No. Okay. Let's see. Y'all got Miles Garrett,
And who y'all got on defense?
Will Anderson Jr., Daniil Hunter. We talking about Pro Bowlers now.
You must
These
think
are
Miles
pro
Garrett the best
guys.
player in the NFL on defense.
He the best player, but that's it. That's all y'all got on their defensive line.
No, man, look at we got
That's
Denzel
it.
Ward. Denzel Ward is the
I
top
said the
defensive back
I,
in
s-
the
I said
NFL.
I said the defensive line. Now y'all
We
got
just
one guy,
drafted.
we got
We
two,
just drafted a highly favored defensive line from Michigan.
and you ain't heard nothing about them.
Because
you,
who? You ain't
you
heard that
ain't-
about nobody because to do is dominating the media cycle.
but
Once
that's what I'm
again,
saying.
once
You ain't
again,
heard nothing
family,
about
once
it.
again, family, I just proved it that Texas is not better than the
And
Cleveland
then
Browns.
and then you
He,
said
it,
Denzel Ward. We got Derek Stingley Jr. That's arguably
okay,
the second best
go.
cornerback in the league behind Patrick Surtain.
I mean, prove that. I don't see the list that came out, JR. I just see it. They had Denzel
Okay.
Ward up there at number 12.
And they had Derek Stingley at number two. So I
No,
mean
JR.
that's a large
No,
that's a
no, no. You need
large
to send me
that's a
that
large
then.
gap. I'm
You
gonna
need
send
to
it to
send
you.
me that, JR. I didn't
I'll
see
send it
that
to you.
part.
I'll
Once
send it to
again,
you.
family, I'm not
I'll
letting
send
people
it to
just come
you.
over here and bash Cleveland like they ain't trying to win. They didn't come. No, no, no,
Ah,
no, no, no. They just going through a quarterback crisis right now. Before it's team wide, they got a decent team. Now, I ain't saying they got the best team. I ain't
yeah.
saying they got the team better than most teams. But when it comes to some of y'all team, oh yeah, we better than y'all. Yeah,
Now
we better than Texas.
I'm gonna say this, B. Watt. Now you put it very politely. You said they just going through a quarterback situation right now. For the
Right.
last 20 years, the Cleveland Browns been going through a quarterback
But they
situation.
got it right this year with Shedeur. They got it right this year. Do it. They got the quarterback now
They
with
got they
Shedeur.
now. I'll give them that. They got it right bringing
Now
in
they might not
Shador.
have the right decision maker, who the head coach and the general manager, and that's the key part too.
And,
But
and
hey,
that's what you need.
that,
Now
it is what
they
it
got
is.
they got it right bringing them in. Opportunity is another thing. So if he
Right.
gets the opportunity to prove it right, then I'm with you. But you just said, what does Shador have to do
Right.
to the fact to be the number one QB going into the regular season? That's a
Yeah.
lot of obstacles to climb. You got to
Okay.
go through the GM, the
Yep.
head coach, three
Yep.
other quarterbacks in front of you. The depth chart for the Cleveland Browns is not the most sound. That's a lot to go through.
You
But
know,
can he
I'm not.
do it? I
I'm not.
believe
I'm
he
not.
can.
I'm not looking at the quarterback room he got to go through because really, they said it in the chat probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. Shador is really out there battling himself. Joe Flacco is not a better quarterback than Shador in this period of his career as a quarterback in the NFL. Kenny
Mhm.
Pickett short is better than Shador, and
That's
Dylan
right.
Gabriel, come on, bro. So it just I can't buy that. I can't let people sell me on that. That's just telling me my eyes can't see what's on film and my ears can't hear or what people who have played the game is telling me, and they looking at the situation. They talking to players in the locker room like Chad Ochocinco said on Nightcap, and I just supposed to turn a deaf ear and a blind eye on that. No, I can't go with that. I'm telling you, Shedeur Sanders as a rookie, having played a down in the NFL, is better than any of those quarterbacks in that room.
And I'm with you on that. I wholeheartedly believe that Shador is better than the quarterbacks in that room that's in front of him. But again, it comes down to opportunity and
Right,
politics. In
right.
professional sports, there's politics.
Yeah.
Money
I explain
plays.
that. Explain that. Explain that. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't
So
understand what you're saying about politics.
so in the professional ranks, it's politics. You may be the best player in that room, but there's somebody with more money in front of you, they're going to get the opportunity before you.
Okay, time out. Let me give you credit on that. You've been telling me that. I did a little research today. I did not know that they guaranteed Joe Flacco $3 million this year. 3 million. He's the only quarterback that got a guaranteed contract.
Hmm.
So I got to might reverse my take on that quarterback room. When you pay somebody $3 million, you expect something from them. That's
You
guaranteed
want
money.
you want
You
something
know what
from
I'm
them.
saying? So when I heard that today and I did a little research, I Googled it and I called a couple of people. They said, "Yeah, he the only one." I said, "Woo." They said, "Yeah, that's why I've been trying to tell you what they gonna make sure if he ain't number one, somebody got to beat him out to be number one. Cause
He
he
got he
guaranteed it. He gonna start it off. He ain't gonna last, but
he
he at least
yeah.
gonna start it off. They
Is he gonna stand
guaranteed
the
three
test of
million dollars.
time? No.
He
Is
told
he
me
gonna make
that
it through 18
that
games?
general
No.
manager and that owner ain't gonna pay nobody $3 million just to sit on no bench.
And be wise, think about this. That's pennies in
I
comparison
know,
to what other quarterback. Dak Prescott
I
getting
know,
$60
but still
million.
they got money
But
tied up into
Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson.
Watson.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
that's
if you
my
look
opinion.
at
So
the total, I want to say I did the math. I can't remember the numbers, but Deshaun Watson coming in at about, I think it's about 45 million. Then you put Joe Flacco, that's three, so that's 48. They signed Dylan Gabriel to what, 6 million or something like that. I don't know how
yeah,
much of his is guaranteed.
it, it I think it's 6 million. I think I won't say like 500,000 guaranteed because you do they get for 200,000
Thousand, yeah.
guaranteed. Yeah. So they ain't paying
So
no quarterback nothing, bro. They ain't
they're
paying
not
nothing.
paying a nut. So on
Not
a
them
rookie
playing
wage,
the ones that
yeah,
playing in the field, but the ones off the field, like I
yeah.
said, we know collusion and all that played a part in, but still, When I read it and I looked that up online, he guaranteed 3 million. I said, "Oh no, they ain't gonna cut nothing.
Yep.
Or somebody about to
So
make a trade for him."
exactly.
Yeah,
And Dylan
yeah,
Gabriel, like this year, like during his NFL year, he may be getting 1 point something,
yeah.
1.7 or something
And
like
they
that.
already said they ain't finna re-up
Yeah.
no field option from him. They told him when they signed him they wasn't gonna do that. So
So
that's why I was going with him. But now I might have to switch that thing because I didn't know they guaranteed Joe Flacco 3 million. And
yeah.
that's guaranteed. He probably already got that in the bank. Yeah,
Yep.
he does.
So all together, like just rough estimates and things like that, all together, 45, 48 if you add Flacco. I want to say Kenny Pickett at like 2. So that's 50. And then you add the two they all in at like 50, between 50 to $55 million with 5 quarterbacks. They all in. Like that money is allocated, gone. So you better believe they're gonna be looking at Joe Flacco, and man, we need a little return on our investment.
Yeah, hey, my neighbor told me that today. Man, when we were talking about today, he said the same thing that you said. He said, hey, he
Yep.
gonna start the first 2 games for that 3 million, big dog. You might well get
Yep.
ready. Doubt.
Yeah. So that's why I say the best thing for Shedeur to do is to go in there and just take calculated risks. Because to me, if you playing hesitant, you that's bad. Take your calculated risk, and when the opportunity comes, like you gotta be Johnny on the spot. It gotta be boom, which I believe he could do. He's shown it time and time again. So I don't think that's anything that's too hard of a feat for him to accomplish. It
Right.
just those moments have to be uh awarded to you in a sense for you to take advantage of them. Because I would hate to go to the Panthers and the Browns preseason game and then he don't get in. Like
I
that,
got
that's the type of stuff that happens, right? Like, well,
you.
we're gonna
Right.
play Joe Flacco a quarter, and then we're gonna play Kenny Pickett 2 quarters, and then we're gonna play Dylan Gabriel a quarter. Who the odd man out? You know what I'm saying? So things like that could occur. But the thing about training camp, something that always happens in training camp, injuries always happen in training camp. So he got to keep himself healthy, and you got to get out on the field. You got to ball out. Because when you put good tape out there, all that other stuff go out the window. You put good tape out there, the coach is gonna be looking. All right, do we go down with somebody that's out there throwing 55%, or if Shedeur out there and he 77% in the preseason, they probably gonna try them out there for sooner than later in the regular season if it's
So
consistent all the way through.
so by you saying that, it's no doubt that he gonna do that. We know he gonna do that. He been doing it for his whole career at Jackson
Hmm.
State and Colorado and in mandatory minute camp. We know he gonna throw 70% of his pass gonna be completed. People trying to say that he can't read no, you don't know the playbook, you don't know the version, can't read no defense. Man, you just don't throw 70% and don't know the plays and don't know what to do with the ball. That's just hard
Yeah,
for me to believe, big dog. I know
yeah,
everybody trying to paint their narrative, try to crush down the opponent, and so they can raise up there, but you just ain't gonna keep blowing no smoke for me. That's why when somebody send me something about what Tony G and Miss Mary Kay, man, I her up and delete it. I don't even open up. I don't read it no more because it's just a bunch of garbage, man. Because everybody got an agenda, and I know they don't like
absolutely,
to defend the brand. The dude come with a brand. They ain't nothing they can do with that. Hey, you
absolutely.
know, Shedeur cannot help. He was raised by a millionaire. Hell, JR, I wish I was raised by one. You know,
Me too.
you know,
I wish I was
that
too.
is one thing I keep telling these haters out here, man, you cannot crush down a person that you didn't build, you didn't make. You can't destroy a person you didn't make. God made Shedeur. His dad had raised him the way he wanted him to do to be successful
Yeah,
on his own without him, and he showed him the way. Why somebody got to be punished and persecuted for that? They ain't doing the man like that.
yeah, yeah. I,
He got
like
his
that.
own brand, JR. He got his
That
own brand, bro.
The NFL it's a fickle business, man. And what I say to them reporters, just speaking to what you just spoke about with Mary Kay and Tony Grossi and stuff like that, the way they spin a narrative, nobody said that Shedeur not picking up the playbook. What they said was Dylan Gabriel is excelling in picking up the playbook. So they turn one person excelling at one attribute and say, oh, well, this other person must not be picking it up as fast then. Well, if somebody is
Okay.
just doing something at a faster rate, that don't mean the other person is not on target. That just means this other person just doing it faster.
No, Jail. Hold on, Jail.
That's what
Time out,
to me,
Jail.
that's what that
Not,
means.
okay, time out. You ain't looking at. You gotta look into this thing deep. When they say that, and that's my next topic. What does the media mean when they say Dylan Gabriel is more shoulder up in the process than should do? Let me tell you something, Jr.
Hmm.
It ain't what you say, it's how you say it and what you're saying about the person. That's how I look at it. Now, why is it they give him credit and every time Shedeur do something good, they discredit that? Okay, you didn't like how I came at you. Let me come at you this way. When Dylan Gabriel was out there in training camp and we saw him throw the ball, I don't show several videos. He threw a ball and they batted it down twice, two
Hmm.
different times. He was quarterbacking and threw a ball in an area where no one was near there. I mean, he threw it through to a open space, like if you was in a field or farmer out there in a big old land, you don't see nothing out there. Look like he just throw the ball out right out there, ain't nothing around.
Hmm.
So if you're a quarterback and if you're doing that, what makes that play that you just did shoulders up? What in your cerebellum and your cerebellum and the pituitary gland, remember brain, tell you to throw that ball that way if you head and shoulder up? Ain't no receivers there.
That's what I
But
said.
when Shedeur go out there and throw 77%, it sounds like he head and shoulder up and everybody to me. Yeah.
That's what I said. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm not discrediting Dylan Gabriel. He may be able to pick up terminology faster, and that's cool. You can be book smart. You be a little smarter than somebody, but if you can't go and translate it on the field, then what are we doing? So I'm not saying Shador ain't smart. I'm not saying Dylan Gabriel genius, but obviously if these reporters want to report that, well, it seems like Dylan Gabriel is from the shoulders up, he's getting, the information, or he's able to take more information in. All right, that's cool. Now, if you report in Shador, then I would ask Kevin Stefanski, all right, then, so what's your timeline of information that's being given out? Because I haven't heard Shador being behind in the playbook. Now they saying, well, Shador is behind in the playbook and things like that. Like that's what I say to those reporters. So are you saying that Shador is behind in the playbook? Or are you saying
That's
he
what they
just
don't
on
say. Yeah,
schedule?
that's what they were saying.
And for me, that's what I'm asking Kevin Stefanski. Like if I'm a reporter and I hear Mary Kay say that, then I'm gonna come right back. Well, Kevin Stefanski, are you saying Shador is behind in the playbook? Because Kevin Stefanski ain't came out one time and said who is excelling or who not excelling.
Right, right, right.
So just because somebody able to look at some information and be like, all right, well, I got all this information, but then they get out on the field and it's 55%. Hey man. But if Shador right on time, look, we supposed to be at 60% of the playbook, and Shador at 60% of the playbook, and he go out there and it translates to 77% completion rate, then you right on time. Dylan Gabriel can be at 70% of the playbook, but you out there throwing 55%. Something ain't
Right.
adding up.
Yeah,
So that's what I would say to those reporters.
Right.
Show me
No,
the evidence of where Kevin Stefanski has come out and said somebody is not on task. Now, if I'm hearing
right,
Shedeur, well, he ain't on task with the rest of the QBs, then I'm gonna be like, all right, well, that's the issue. But we haven't heard Kevin Stefanski say that, and I doubt if we hear Kevin Stefanski say that as well.
right, right. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, but like I'm saying, like OFB said right there, Bo Nix and Jalen Daniels, CJ Stroud can take their organization to the playoff as a rookie. Why Shedeur can? And I agree with him 100% on that.
Yeah,
100%. All right, that's all I got on Shedeur news. Let's stay in the NFL. Which team on the NFC side right now, when you look at them, who got the best team on the NFC side going into the season? Even though we ain't seen nobody play. Uh,
that's the easy one.
yeah, whoever
The,
won the Super Bowl, that's
yeah, whoever
Philadelphia.
won the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
Philadelphia
yeah.
Eagles. They
but
ain't what they
but
lose.
you don't think? Okay, let me come into like this. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys and the move they don't make, you don't think they closed that gap a little bit?
Man, Jerry Jones out there talking about, look, we
Yeah,
paid
I
our
know. I ain't
quarterback
talking
and
about
then
that
he
part. I'm
got
talking about
hurt.
the talent. I know. I'm talking about the talent that brought to the team. Man, that wide receiver, man, that dude pick
Look, Dallas always does a great job of acquiring the talent, but you not for to sell me on this first year head coach. I don't care if his daddy was a great offensive coordinator, a great head coach at some point in his career. That's a first year head coach. It's rare in the NFL that you see first year head coaches take off. I believe the last one to do it was D'Amico Ryans from the Houston Texans. So,
right.
but I, Derrick Jones got to get out of the way for Dallas to be anything. And everybody who's a Dallas Cowboy fan or follow the NFL, everybody know that. If everybody's saying it, something got to be right. Because it ain't just a few. Everybody's saying it. So they bringing in the talent, but it's gonna be Jerry Jones' demise that stopped them from being or reaching whatever potential that they can reach. It's gonna be Jerry
Mm,
Jones.
okay. All right. Let me talk to the chat. Chat. Who's the best team in the NFC? Who's the best team in the NFC in the National Football League? Let me know. Put it down in the chat. All right. Let's go to the AFC side. Who's the best team on that right now?
Now this one a little bit interesting
It
because
is.
to me, some people would say, well, the easiest and obvious would be the runner-up team that was in the Super Bowl. But not so fast. I think the second best team, I mean, or the best team in the AFC is the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
They
You
have
go.
literally
You think they
everything.
better than the Buffalo?
I think they better than Buffalo, B. Watts. If
Wow.
that tight end catch the ball, Baltimore in the Super Bowl.
Well, if Colorado had stopped that running back for Kansas, they would have been in the Big 12 championship. You think they say that?
I mean, it was yeah, it was a lollipop pass, man. Because I think
That's the problem. You should have never went
they
on the
get
road.
there and they able to beat Kansas City and they able to get to the Super Bowl. But that's a lot of ifs, right? But
Right.
I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens from an offensive standpoint. Uh, they've always been a team that's able to put up points on the ground. So that's not changing unless Derrick Henry out of you know out of nowhere hits that they say that their running back wall when running backs turn 30 and they just start to fall off a cliff. Unless Derrick Henry just come in and just drastically goes downhill, I don't see Baltimore falling off. And literally, to me, they was a catch away from being in the AFC Championship game, and I think they would have not handily, but I think they would have got past Kansas City to get to the Super Bowl. But I'm going with
Okay.
Baltimore. They've
Yeah,
been
I got
that steady team, and they just been right there, always etching away. They just got to get it right. So I'm going with Baltimore.
Yeah, on the NFC side, I got to go with I think the best team right now is Philadelphia Eagles, and on the AFC, it's Buffalo. I mean, I think Buffalo, even though it's got
Buffalo.
Josh Allen. Josh Allen he can do it, man. He ever get him some help, just a little help. Boy, he will run through them AFC. Ain't nobody on
That's
that.
ain't no that's I ain't gonna lie. He put that
I
cape
mean,
on.
he got that. I'm telling you,
Hey,
man.
he
And
put
you
that
take
cape
him
on.
out of that
That
snow.
boy be getting it
You want to
done.
take him. If he was to take him out of the snow, that's why I don't think they need home field advantage in the playoff because
Hmm.
that snow hold him down and he can't really do what he want to do. Let him go on the road to Baltimore or Kansas City. I think they can go in there and beat one of them teams. They just can't match up with that dude physicality at quarterback. And that's another story we think you're talking about that Georgia Tech and uh,
Colorado.
Colorado man. Yeah, that's the same thing. They're gonna play a Josh Allen, boy. But like I
Hmm.
say, I like Baltimore. I'm gonna come down to Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo, who go to the Super Bowl, who represent
Whoa,
the
whoa,
AFC.
whoa, 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 whoa. And the Texans, man. Come on now.
Bruh,
Don't do
y'all
that.
can't, man.
Don't be Watts. Don't do
If you
that,
do it
man.
with the quarterback, y'all ain't gonna beat them out, man.
Don't do that, B Watt. You gonna name
I'm just saying.
Baltimore, the Bills, Kansas City, and leave out the Texans? Oh man, come on, man. Get out of here, B
Come on,
Watt.
you know, like I
Don't
said,
do that.
that organization ain't doing right by the African American people, man. They just ain't, man. They ain't.
I mean, they put D'Amico Ryans back in there. Now I ain't gonna lie. They did Lovey
Only
Smith
reason they did that,
and
they had to change their
totally
image.
wrong.
They had to
I
do
ain't gonna
their image.
lie.
They had to change their image.
They did them wrong. But what I will say, we had three, we had back to back to back African American coaches. Name one NFL team that did that. I ain't never seen it. So we
Yeah, but
had
your
three back to
GM,
back to back.
but your
But they did the
GMs
other
and your
two
owner,
dirty.
then your owner had to sell the team.
He gave it, he had to step down, pretty much give it to his
Yeah,
son.
yeah. All right, why he said step down?
I mean, you know what he said. I ain't repeating what he
I,
said, D Watts. I ain't repeating that, man. But
I
but
just
he
said,
he was on some Jerry Jones type stuff, man. So
yeah,
I was like, man, what's going
yeah.
on with
You
this
heard that
guy?
stuff Jerry Jones said yesterday. I did a show last
Yeah,
night from Jerry Jones. Boy, I said, boy, this dude him something. Now, he don't got old. He just say anything now.
yeah. Once
Yeah,
he
he just
said, I will say what he said something. I may be misquoting it, but it was something where you can't let the inmates run the asylum or something like that.
yeah,
And man, when I saw that, like my mom sent me that. She sent me that in a text message. I said, he said, what? Oh man, we done with this
yeah,
guy, man.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, after that, they fired Lovey Smith, and it was just, yeah.
yeah, yeah. You're right.
But
You're right.
they
I
turned
forgot.
it
Yeah,
around, man. They turned it around.
yeah, yeah. All right, let's talk about Colorado for the last 10 minutes. Uh, Colorado. When you look at the Colorado football team, they have some competition all over the place. When you look at it, really, they got some competition coming into camp all over the place. But they left, but the left tackle,
Hmm.
and I think that's Jordan C. Now, uh, the running back competition.
Hmm.
How you think gonna turn out?
Man, I'm happy you started off with that one. That's the position I would say I'm most concerned about. And the reason why I say that because my own expectations is for CU to run the ball,
Hmm.
but we don't have a running back on the roster that's been, you know, super productive when it comes to collegiate touches and things like that.
Hmm.
I was talking to one of my buddies the other day, and he was like, what about Dallin Hayden? When he was at Ohio State, and I was like, that's the thing. If you got to go back to Ohio State to say when he was at Ohio State, he did this, how many years we removed from that? What
I
have
mean,
we? You need to be
you
saying
can
what he
say that
did
about
last year.
all the but JR, you can say that about all the players that's on the team.
Yeah,
Everybody but
but
Jordan C.
But I said from my expectations in the running back room. Because remember, I was saying like, man, we need to get a guy with some type of productivity, like somebody that has produced. But they took a few swings at a guy and they missed. But they
Okay.
tried. They
Okay, check
tried to
this out.
bring somebody in with productivity, but they
Right.
couldn't get him.
Now I've been noticing things, JR. Y'all kept telling me since we got Marshall Falk, he gonna bring in some big time running back. He don't miss on 3 for 2026. Big time running back. That was big time. Texas got one the other day. Somebody else got one the other day. Last week. He ain't been to bring him in. Is it
Yeah.
because it might be because that money, man?
Oh yeah. Look, I mean, it's money, and then it's pedigree of the school as well. Like when you're
True.
talking about running backs and things like that. Look, these young men that are you talking about 4 and 5 star guys, in their mind, they're already thinking, well, I'm three and I'm out. Like if I can get there, I'm three and I'm out. So I gotta go to a school where I'm gonna have the opportunity to have touches. The pedigree of a Georgia, of or Oregon or Michigan or something, like you probably gonna get running backs to commit to those schools before, because they the schools that are putting running backs into the league. So you see Georgia every year, they getting some highly ranked 5 star running back, but then you start looking at the history of Georgia, especially over the last 10 years, it's been running back from running back from running back from all, starting back from Todd Gurley. You just look, they just had a slew of running backs that come in. So it's easier for somebody to see that and envision that. But when you say Colorado, you start looking back, all right, since Coach Prime been there, all right, what running back? Well, it hasn't been one. So that's the sale you gotta, they gonna get one, and it's gonna take them telling whoever they pitching to, whatever high school kid they're pitching to, you gonna be the one. We just need you to commit.
Right.
We
Okay.
putting it
All
on
right.
you. We just need you to commit. So,
Okay. All right, chat. Y'all help me out. Let me see where y'all at. Who will be running back number 1 for Coach Prime and the Colorado football team this year? Put it down in the chat. Let me see what y'all saying. Who will be running back number 1? Now, JR, when you look at the right title, I don't know who to put over there. I don't know who gonna win. You can go either way. Who you have the front runner be the right tackle on this offensive line? Competition is there. They brought in 2.
uh,
You got about 3 transfers. You still got the 2 players that there. You had one that was injured. Uh, I don't know. I don't know, man.
yeah. Who was the guy that was there last year? Houston.
Houston,
He came on.
he got an ACL.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be ready for camp or anything like that. But if I were to go there, I would at least start with him. Because he didn't play, he definitely didn't play, towards the latter end of the season. He held his own on that right side. But now that's the thing, you got so much competition coming in. You got the
Yeah,
last guy that they picked up from Tennessee. You got the
yep,
young man that they picked up from what was it, Maryland? He played some guard and tackle. And then which one of them guys that they brought in? Not Chrysler. The other guy from Texas A&M. I think he had
yeah,
some play at right guard and right
right,
tackle as well.
yep,
So that's a good thing to have, because they didn't have that last year. They was coming in and you could essentially like pencil in like, well, Benson gonna start at this position because there was nothing else behind Benson. So you starting off with Benson because there's nothing else behind Benson. But this year is a little bit different. So you got guys with a lot of collegiate snaps. So it just has to play itself out.
okay, all right. Let's switch over. No, let's stay right there on the outside. Let's look at the 3 wide receiver if they go to a 11 personnel, right? That's 1 tight end, 1 running back, 3 wide receiver. which three wide receiver you think would take the field first?
I think it's gonna be Omarion Miller, Sincere Brown, and Draylon Miller. Those gonna be the
Okay.
three.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think JoJo would be the number one wide receiver off the bench, or if they just
Mhm.
go to a 10 personnel, he'll get the nod then, majority of the
Yeah,
time. But they're gonna have to figure out a way to get Q Gibson, Q6 on that field. Some
yeah,
package deal.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
his impact gonna be more so on special teams. They're gonna have him kick off, punt return, probably more so kickoff. And then punt return will probably be handled by either Isaiah Hodge or Farrakhan.
okay. You can't leave
And
out
then you
Cam
go,
Mike now. I think Cam Mike might be back at one of them.
yeah. I mean, I can see Cam Michael being back there on kick return with Q6
Yeah,
or
yeah,
track hawk. That's a it's a good thing for them to have this problem. That's a good thing. You just got to
right.
figure out how to put people on the field and
Yeah,
take
that depth chart.
advantage of the
Right.
situation with the depth.
Yeah. All right. Now, when you look at let's start in the back. The safeties, who you got?
Well, I'm high on one particular person. You still ain't came around. Carter
Who that?
Stoutmire. I'm high on him. Carter
Okay.
Stoutmire. So I'm high on him. And then I'm gonna go with Tafik Byard to go there. So
Okay.
that'll be the two safeties back there. And then you got DJ and you're gonna have Hodge, Preston Hodge, DJ, and then that other cornerback position is up for a spot. RJ Johnson had a very, very good spring, but it's still up.
Right.
So
Okay. All right. FD says Stoudemire and Byron to keep a Byron. Linebackers. When you look at that room, what you think?
linebackers, I gotta go with Little Big Salt, and then probably what's his name? Say man, A man, French.
Okay. You going that's two you going with?
Yep.
Okay. All
And
right.
then
Right.
Reginald Hughes, the first linebacker off the bench.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta go with now who's gonna be he's gonna be the number one linebacker and Salt be the number one off the bench to me.
Mm,
And I like Keon Pauls at that cornerback opposite DJ McKinney.
Kenny. Okay.
That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at right now. But RJ Johnson going into camp gonna have the edge because he been there. They
Yeah, he
familiar
gonna
with it.
start out for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's up to Tion Paul to come and get it
Yep.
if you want. Yeah. I agree with you on that. All right. Now, here go the kicker. When it comes to that defensive line, out of all of them, but which two is the best parenting that has the potential of starting game one against Georgia Tech? Just two of them.
Mm,
Coach G said French and Hughes. All right, I go to
I
that.
don't. Oh man, I
Which
don't know.
pair? Which pair?
I mean, Arden Walker for sure.
No, not all. I'm talking about defense type. Defense
Oh,
type.
defense tackle. Well, let me show some love to your boy Barnes.
Yeah, Bond's
I
gonna be out
think
there now. Cause Tap gonna
I
make sure
think
he got there.
yeah, Barnes then earned the right to be out there. And then the second person, I don't think it's gonna be Otis. It's gonna be
I
Barnes.
that first time. I think gonna be McNeil
Yeah, I can see McNeil. Barnes and McNeil. I can see
or
that.
Tom to keep a Tom
Yeah,
because they started at the end of the season. That's the parent they had,
yeah, I can see that.
and during the spring.
So
But now,
I got
but now
I
they
gotta go
are.
Barnes though for sure.
But yeah, Bond's gonna be there. He gonna start. I ain't got no doubt about it. But still, uh, only person that can get Bonds, I think, if Teran Carter come back like he was last year, boy, he got hurt.
Yep.
If he come back like he was last year, Bond gonna have to sit behind him, cause that ball getting down out there before he got hurt, boy.
Yeah.
And plus, you
But
got the experience.
I think Barnes looking at it like this my time, man. Like
Oh, this is
if I
last
had
year. You
this
got
yeah, if I had this year, then I'm good. Like
yeah,
I gotta get drafted. So I that's why I think he came in and his body, looked different. He took it serious this season because last year coming in with the pedigree, Alabama, he thought he was probably just gonna get on that field.
right.
It ain't go like that, man.
It didn't work like that.
It ain't work like that.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I like Barnes. Like I said, I think the only person to get him is TC. Depending on how TC come
Yeah,
in, that motor. Cause Barnes on lost a lot of weight. Then you gotta look at who Sapp trusts. And it
yep.
seemed like all last year, even though Barnes was jumping offside and all that, he stuck with it. He
Stuck with
stuck
him.
with it. He kept putting him back out there. He kept putting him back out there. So that's why I look at it right now. The defensive end,
That to me, that's you going Arden Walker and Sam Okunlola.
yeah,
That's
you
who you
got to.
starting off with.
Yeah, you got to. You got to.
And then first person off the bench is Keegan Wade in that
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
King Wade. Yeah, I get you. I get. Yeah, you're right. You're right. At first, I was gonna say Addis McPherson might be the first one off the bench, but you got to go with King Wade because he came on strong at the end.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you got to look at George Hilo. He gonna put these guys out there who he like now. Now George,
Yeah.
he don't like that other guy more than he like but they made him the mic during the
Which
spring.
one?
Todd,
Oh yeah, yeah. That's his guy, man.
he made him the mic.
That's
He
his
had the
guy, man.
mic. He was called the signal big dog.
That's his guy.
I almost got his name. What that dude's
But
name?
man,
What his name, Jr.?
I can't remember.
It ain't Swain. Wiggins. That's it. Appreciate it, FD. Wiggins.
Wiggins. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wiggins. Wiggins.
Hey, Wiggins
I was
Mike.
just going. I was just gonna say
Wi-
LSU, but I ain't want to just disrespect him and say the LSU boy, but Wiggins, yeah,
Yeah, Wiggins might be Sam Mike because Sam wasn't there in the spring.
could be.
They made him the Mike big dog, not the
That just
linebacker. They made a defensive end, George Elo, that let you know him
that lets you
and
know about that the aptitude the young man
yeah,
got, man.
exactly, man, exactly. So it's interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's just gonna be interesting. Miss E. Will, I'm sorry to hear that about your mom. Be praying for you. God bless you. God bless you, Miss E. Will. God bless you. I'm just
Oh
saying.
man, what?
Yeah. But yeah. Now Lightfoot gonna be in there, but ain't finna beat them guys out. Yeah. Wiggins and Megatron. Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah,
He sure is. He sure is. JR, I
but
appreciate you on the rock.
no
Uh,
problem, man. No problem, man.
yeah. But I think their defense gonna be looking good, man. They looking good. Uh
Yeah,
they still ain't getting no respect from the Big 12 media and the Big 12 conference. But I think that's probably a blessing. It's probably a blessing, man.
yeah.
Probably a blessing. It is. All right, JR, I appreciate your night, but before I leave, man, I want to give before we get off here, I got a little tribute video of Malcolm, Jamal Warner. And after the video, if you want to say anything, man, you say something, we're going to get off here. Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a clip I remember, man, when I was seeing him, man, coming up, bro. Yeah, that's a terrible way to lose your life, man, when you're on vacation out there in that water, bro.
oh yeah, man. I can only imagine the pain and the sorrow that the family is going through right now, man. Me and my wife was talking about this while we were on vacation
Wow.
because we were on the water like every other day, and it was situations that were happening like that, B Watts, where
Yeah.
you on vacation and I'm a family of three, me, my wife, my daughter. I can only imagine the pain if I had to come back minus one person. like how am I moving on with life, man? So, uh, man, Theo Huxtable, uh, that was a little bit before my time as far as like the Cosbys and things like that, but I'm ultra familiar with it. But I would say the show that had me, man, was Malcolm and Eddie. That was a great show. Came on UPN back in the day, man. Malcolm Jamal Warner, Eddie Griffin, just two guys being guys and going through life as young men, trying to figure it out. As far as holding down a job and a relationship and how to treat women and how to talk to your brother and tell another man, hey man, I love you. I understand the situations that you're going through, and we gonna get through this together. That show was a great show for me, man. It was a great representation of the see, look, man, two black men with just common day jobs, they can get it done in society. Malcolm Jamal Warner, man, he was the epitome of black excellence. You've never heard anything negative spoken about him. He was an advocate, he was a philanthropist, he was a husband, a father, an actor, and those are the pillars in black society that should be lifted up even more. It's easy to, forget about the people that are doing things the right way.
Right.
And flowers should definitely be given while people are alive, but unfortunately, his flowers are being given at his demise. And people, when you out there vacationing, please just be careful, man. Just be careful on that water, because that water knows no enemy and it'll take all. But
Yep.
man, Malcolm Jamal Warner, man, that great role model, great representation. And I just hate that his flowers is just being given now. I wish they would have been given much sooner. But my condolences to his families. If this ever reaches them in the airways, my condolences to his family. And man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, I hate that, man. I said the same thing. My condolences go to the family and all that, man. Just sad news when you hear something like that happen to anybody. It ain't just got to be our race. That's just for anybody, man. So
Hmm.
praying for the family, for everything, turn out well for the family, so they can get their spirit lift up some kind of way. But anyway, big dog, I appreciate you tonight, man. Once again, we got JR Boxing, Sports Talk with B. Watson. We appreciate him tonight in chat. Y'all been the greatest. Miss E. Willard will be praying for you and your mother. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Been there, done that with my grandmother. Know exactly what you're going through. Hey, it is what it is. But God got the last word. JR, give us the last word. We out of here, big dog.
Be Watch, man. It's always a pleasure chopping it up with you, man. Chopping it up with you. Be blessed, man. Stay safe out here and keep enjoying life, man. I hope you're enjoying your retirement for sure, man.
Oh, I am doing that, my brother. I am doing that. Once again, you're watching Sports Talk. We'll be watching. Appreciate the chat. Appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Y'all bless.
Peace.
Yeah. I won't burn unless you're there. I need,
no excuses. Put in the work. Do what I gotta do. Might be time to be back again. Whenever that time is.
Are you practicing to practice or you practice to be great?
Which way am I going?
What's coming? You on the way?